We are so set up for the best podcast ever.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of
Let's Kvetch.
Let's Kvetch, and here we are.
Are we recording?
We're recording.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good.
Let the kvetching roll. Howard, welcome to my show.
Well,
Our show.
Yo, welcome to the show. It's Let's Kvetch, where mindful speech and wisdom always stretch. Rabbi Raphael, Howard on the mic, dropping Torah gems, everyday insight. Let's Kvetch.
All right.
Let's not forget.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
this is Rabbi Leban.
And this is Howard Wedgel.
Nice to.
And it's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for joining in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Right. But we're not going to kvetch today, or even talk about kvetching.
What?
Imagine that. Imagine that. So I was
not even responsibly.
I was taken aback myself
when I told you that that's what we're gonna.
Yeah, we're not kvetching.
Even though this was the Let's Kvetch podcast.
Yeah. So go figure this. This is what are we going to talk about?
So today I would like to take the.
I have it written down.
Yeah, written down. So
yes.
I would like to take the podcast in a different direction. I would like to say we're going to have an episode not about kvetching, but about kvelling. Let's kvell today.
What?
Let's kvell.
We're yes.
Ready?
So right. However, two things. Well, we've got to give a derivative or a derivation.
Definition.
Yep.
Definition of terms.
Kvell.
What does kvetch? What does kvell mean?
Well,
these are
kvetch,
are antonyms.
Okay.
Antonyms. You know what antonyms are? In the thesaurus.
Right. So in the thesaurus.
Yes.
Thesaurus. Yes. So what is?
We are not going to kvetch. We're going to kvell.
Okay. All right.
What is
kvell? What is kvelling?
What is kvelling?
Associated with kvell, the act of a kvell. Okay. So I looked it up. Okay. So actually, did you know it's originally German?
No, kvell.
Well,
Yiddish.
Right, but it turned right. Well, Yiddish is
a lot of German in it.
A lot of German in it.
Okay, so what do the Germans mean when they say kvell?
Well, German is meaning well up. I didn't get the German word. Sorry, I didn't.
To well up?
Well up.
Like I'm welling up with tears?
Could be. Probably not.
That doesn't sound like.
No, I don't know.
Scratch
that. I don't. But Yiddish is the original is kvelm. Kvelm, which then later through the years, I don't know who came up with that one, but originally, so kvell or kvelling is more recent than you would think.
Is that the definition?
No, I made that up.
Okay. It is more, I don't know if it's recent or not. But what does it mean?
It means okay. Yeah, typically it means pride. Pride over one's, especially a loved one's accomplishments. Okay.
It's a beautiful thing.
To take joy from their accomplishments.
The verb is to experience joy or pleasure from the successes of others.
Right.
Yeah?
Right. And again, typically it's used, not totally, but usually within the framework of your own family, your children, grandchildren, etc.
Anyone you take pleasure. You could take pleasure about another person's successes.
Yeah.
However you're.
Yeah, I could. I don't.
However you're pleased.
I don't. But
we'll edit that out. Don't worry. And this is the opposite of.
The opposite of
kvetching,
right? Where
you are.
So so we're pivoting from the Let's Kvetch. We're not changing the. No. We're not changing that. It was still Let's Kvetch.
An antonym is still on the same page, right?
Right. Yeah.
So today's the antonym. Now, as opposed to complaining about someone's shortcomings, someone's offenses, someone's grievous behavior to you.
Right.
Now we're going the other way around. We're going to celebrate their successes. It's a beautiful thing. It's one of those beautiful. Can I tell you something, Howard, about kvelling?
Please do.
I once looked up to see if there's an English word for it.
Okay.
There isn't. Not only that, but in most languages, there is not a word kvell. And in fact, let me tell you this. This was my research for Clean Speech many years ago, that in German, it doesn't mean what we mean by it in the German language. German language, kvell doesn't mean, maybe means to well up or wellspring, I don't know. But it doesn't mean to celebrate another person's successes.
Okay.
You know what I did find though? In German, they have a negative, they have the opposite word. There's a word, listen to this. This is an awful thing. And there's a word in German called Schadenfreude.
Okay, which means
Schadenfreude means to take pleasure in another person's failures.
oh
I'm telling you, it's a real thing.
yeah.
They don't have a word for Kvell, which is to take pleasure in another person's successes. But we do. Isn't that fascinating?
No,
True
that is-
story.
this is honestly. I did not
Sometimes
know
I make
that.
up stuff on the show.
So what?
I'm not making this up.
What? Now you're telling me?
I don't think I have.
Oh, no, I don't think you have.
Not
I-
a lot
I-
of stuff.
No, but okay, but
But this I'm not making up.
But that's-
Schadenfreude
and
is the pleasure you feel in another person's pain or suffering or failures or downfall. It's terrible.
right. Another reason take pride in the Jewish people, some and Yiddish, which is for Ashkenaz Jewry, is the language of what would you fill in the words? So
It's the language of Eastern European Jewry.
yeah,
German
so-
and-
right,
Yep. Ashkenazi Jewry.
right,
Yiddish.
and it's more predominant of Yiddish, more predominant in Eastern Coast, the New York area, and stuff like
Especially
that.
like in America, where is Yiddish spoken?
Yes.
Well, that's a great tangent
Okay, there you go.
to my. I'm trying to talk about kvelling.
Okay,
You want to
well,
talk about the history of the Yiddish and spoken Yiddish in
Okay.
America?
All right. So So now that we know
What the topic is?
Okay. Now that we know what the topic,
Right.
what Kvell means and stuff like that. So I actually have a question, but on Kvell. But if
go ahead.
no, this was your idea, so you would run with it.
Well, I want to hear your question in a minute.
Okay. All right. So now that
In
we
a
know-
minute.
Oh, sorry.
No, what I'm saying is like this.
Okay.
I believe, and I think it's a beautiful thing to emphasize, that this is a really beautiful Jewish concept. It's not just another 5-letter word that starts with K,
Okay.
except Kvetch has 6. I know you're counting, but Kvell is 5.
Okay.
Now, that's why kvetching is greater than kvelling. The 6 letters, not 5. And that's a little gematria for you, for our listeners. But kvelling is a beautiful concept because we truly do believe that you should be feeling pleasure when other people succeed.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. It may
Yes.
not be that way in other cultures.
There shouldn't.
In other languages, they don't have such a word.
But you shouldn't harbor ill will
No.
to the person. Take pride and
Right.
in their accomplishments.
Obviously, let's say if it's your own child, member of your family.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's what
mean?
I'm going to come to. But right.
That's where you're getting
Yeah,
to.
that's what I'm
Right,
going
so
to come to.
Bubby is a kveller. You know what I mean? Your Eastern European Bubby.
Well, it doesn't have to be just Bubby. It can be Zaidi.
Zaidi can Kvell.
I am a Zaidi.
Right,
So,
right. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
I do Kvell over,
Right.
over my kids,
Because here's the
my
question:
grandkids, and stuff.
can
like
you kvell about the success of a stranger?
that. I did not think about that.
Is that a good one for our listening audience?
That's a good one.
And do you know where people can go to leave a comment?
This is great. No,
I'm
this is-
kvelling today. I'm telling over our team. Who now we
Finally.
we finally have a place. So if you
So
want,
you want to email, this is it.
it's not an email.
Oh no, it's first a website, but it has a
Right.
form.
There's like
Right,
It's
but
very simple and it's free.
it's like
Choose love it for free. You can do it
Stop.
wholesale.
no,
You
no,
can
but, I mean,
leave a comment. Go to cleanspeech.com let's
slash
let's kvetch.
let's kvetch.
Cleanspeech.com let's kvetch, and you can put a comment there,
Okay.
and you can tell us your kvel. Like usually we're asking for your kvetch. You could tell us your kvel, and which is much nicer, and you can tell us if you think that it's conceivable to kvel about a stranger's success.
Right. So interjecting a little bit of kvetching, which prompted you finally getting the ability, because the email wasn't working and all sort of technological issues and stuff like
Technological.
that. Okay, fine. But now we have an ability. It'll come here to the Jewish Experience,
That's right.
and then it'll be forwarded to me. Hopefully, right.
You are going to
Right.
receive all of the kvelling that comes in this week.
Kvelling and there
And in
may be
future
some
as well.
kvetching and stuff. Okay, so I have some questions on kvelling.
Okay.
Okay, so you raise a good question. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer to that.
Well, you're not a kvelling expert. You're a kvetching expert. So why should I expect you to know that? Somebody's at the door, but I'm not going to get it. We're on the air after all. Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right.
So what's your question
So
now?
the question is, all right. So is there too much also in terms of kvelling? I mean, you know, you hear me talk about my kids or my grandkids and stuff like that, and you go, okay, it's beautiful. So you don't feel what I feel, okay? Because I'm more attached, obviously, to
Your own grandchildren.
my children, my
Yep.
grandchildren, and
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
So I'm telling you, I'm kvelling. Now, there's a little bit of competition when you say, wow, my son, the doctor, you know, like that. And, you know, and,
Right.
you know, they got into
You
this
see his
yeshiva.
brother, he's a doctor.
It's got into this yeshiva at the age of 2. And then, you know, stuff like that. So
Wow.
is there,
Here's your question.
I'm not trying to blow you know
Blow the topic out of the water.
Right. It's just you know,
It's a good question. It's an excellent question. Excellent question.
Okay.
Is there a limit? It's too much kvelling. Maybe you shouldn't kvell in front of people. It makes them jealous.
Yeah.
Right?
Be sympathetic to the other person too about
That's right.
your
Let's say, for example, if you're kvelling about your grandchildren to what the person doesn't have grandchildren, they might feel like a little unhappy. They
right.
might not be kvelling with you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
when you kvetch, everyone kvetches with you. But when you kvell alone. No, I don't think.
No. I mean, that was
That
one of the
famous?
things we talked.
When you kvell, the whole world kvells with you. But when you
Right.
kvetch, you kvetch alone.
I think I heard that once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Anyways, so
I think it's a tremendous. It's a testament to your you know, what's the word? You're very
well, you're the one with the
sensitive.
titles.
You're sensitive.
Okay. They
Sensitive
teach that in
others.
rabbi school.
How to compliment, how to name the sensitivity you see around you. Yes, that's very good of you. You're saying
Sympathetic.
sympathetic. You're saying very good. Don't, you know, kvelling is a good thing. I was thinking when we were doing this episode, it's kvelling and we're not kvetching now. We're kvelling, it's great, but you're saying there's limits. There's also a potential downfall. You could, you know, pitfall. You could, the downside, you could kvell in front of someone, make them feel bad.
Right. Right.
In which case, kvetching is safer. That's why you should just kvetch. Nobody, because if you're
Okay.
kvetching about something,
Right.
it makes other people feel better. Because I don't have that pain. Look, you're kvetching about that back pain again. You go to the
Right.
doctor, you got this huge bill, and you kvetch about that with your friend. How does your friend feel? He doesn't feel bad that he doesn't have that pain in that.
No,
It
but
feels great. Kvetching really makes people feel good when you kvetch in front of them, and they don't have that problem.
it's
Kvelling, you have to be a little careful.
Yeah, a little bit, but you know, it's something. It's something that we should, you know, also do a little bit more of. You know,
What?
not be embarrassed. but
Kvelling?
like a little kvelling too. I'm going to take the opposite approach. I'm going to say, you know what, my child or this person or that person, I want to take pride in anot's accomplishment, success. Okay, and you know, will that carry into other things? It will, you know. I feel that the reason for doing so, there's a direct benefit, not really to you, but to the other person too. That someone else, you know, my parents, my grandparents, or maybe somebody unrelated, cares about me. Okay,
Absolutely.
so look about that from that.
If
point
you
of view.
let the person know who you're kvelling about, that you're kvelling,
Yes,
you should text people, I'm kvelling. When they tell you, that's what you should answer. Someone tells you something nice, you should say, I'm kvelling from you.
right.
Is that how you say it? I'm kvelling
think
about,
I
I
said that.
kvel about you. I'm kvelling about you at work over the water cooler. I'm going live on. Okay, can I bring up another issue though? That
Yeah,
I'm worried
I just
about?
don't know how many times you've said "fell" in that sentence.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's another issue, and it's along the lines of what you were saying. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and maybe, you know, I hope our listeners are not going to, you know, and if they are, they can comment. I hope they're not going to be upset. But I think that there's such a thing as being careful not to overpost your kvel, your successes, your, you know, all the things that are going well for you. People are very happy to post, you know, wow, we went to, you know, we did this and my kid did that and we won this and we were able to do this. And then like, there's a certain thing that, you know, there's a certain modesty. There's a certain modesty that a person should rather feel. The kvelling is good, but it could be that within limits. There's you know,
Right.
there's an extent by which I would say there's a value not to constantly be putting your own, you know, success out there. in the public eye. We have a good sort of a negative role model. If you want to get political, you like him, you don't like him, Mr. President. But boy, oh boy, he wants to make sure that you know about his accomplishments. I think Jewishly would shy away from that. We want to be a little more modest about our accomplishments, even the accomplishments of our children, whatever. I know people are careful not to post a lot of pictures of their kids. We have Sunday school parents,
Sure.
and they say you can take pictures of your kids, but don't post them online.
Right.
Or somebody said, I had a person said, you can share this with people you want, but don't post it.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that they're like. It's a certain modesty, and even though kvelling is good,
But
kvelling has value.
Right.
It also has. It also should be tempered.
Okay, so
It should be
and let me throw this out.
Kvel responsibly. Can we say that?
No, yeah, but people are starting now. The branding of kvetching responsibly is, because we're going so viral
Around the world.
now. It's around the world. People know
Yeah,
kvetch responsibly.
We even have these cool cards.
Right, and it says that at the right there, and then maybe one day we'll get some.
If
get
somebody
wristbands.
writes in a comment, we could give them one of these as a as a
that's
thank you.
sure.
We could get one of these
We can
cool
write
Let's
notes.
Kvetch podcast postcards.
And then, but you can also write, thanks for your comment, and then hand it to them. I don't know. So just a thought. All
We're gonna
my
work on-
ideas.
We're going to work
cannot
on
be
this
brilliant.
swag.
It's like-
One of these days we'll have some sponsors, some swag.
One of these days. Okay. All right. So real quick, I was going to ask a question. What was I going to ask you?
Was it about kvetching or kvelling?
Kvelling,
Okay.
right? Oh, so here's one way of eliciting from another person. Just ask them, how's your family? How are your kids?
You could elicit kvelling.
Yes.
Well, what if they kvetch when what if they say, oh my kids,
Oh my God.
gosh, so expensive. What
All they're doing is asking for money and this.
you
and,
could ask somebody how they're doing, but you don't know what you're going to get. Is it a kvetch or is it a kvel coming out?
All right.
The kvetch or kvel episode, they'll call this.
you gotta temper. You gotta feel the where the conversation is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
think this has been enlightening.
No,
I think that
it's
it's,
a to-
I
it's a good
didn't think
topic.
that I was going to end up at the end of the show thinking that we have to say kvel responsibly. But now that we've discussed it, I think we do. I think that I'm not going to change the logo. I'm not saying we change the tagline. But I think it's a piece of advice. I always strive to give our listeners a little bit of clean speech wisdom. And I think today,
Beautiful. Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, need to click subscribe, like,
follow, share.
follow, share, whatever.
Yeah, there
all
should be
that
a
stuff.
there should be a kvel button.
No,
Could you kvel about this episode?
and now that you know how to send in an email through the website,
/ let's kvetch.
well, cleanspeech.com
.com.
/ let's kvetch.
No apostrophe.
No, don't worry about the apostrophe. So, again, we're going to
What was the question of the day? Question of the day is, do you think you can kvel about the success of a stranger? And if you do, you're going to win one of these postcards where they're of fabulous value. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks for watching.
That's
Share
a
with
wrap.
friends.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
This is
And listening.
It's
And
a
well,
podcast.
well, yeah, but it's also on YouTube. So I mean, I push the YouTube, but
They can
yes,
see your Shane up on it.
and
Let's end it here.
okay, fine. All right. Thanks. Take
Yo, welcome to the show. It's Let's Kvetch, where mindful speech and wisdom always stretch. Rabbi Raphael, Howard on the mic, dropping Torah gems every day insight. Let's Kvetch, let's not forget. Choose words wisely, no regret. Guard your tongue, learn the flow. Jewish vibes on the podcast. Let's go. From Lashon Hara to keeping speech kind, every syllable affects the divine. Pause before you speak, breathe and reflect. Every day my Vaughn earns respect. Howard's got the laughs, Rabbi keeps it deep. Lessons on the lips for your soul to keep. We're talking truth, talking shalom by it. Heart stays soft when the tone stays quiet. Let's kvetch, let's not forget. Choose words wisely, no regret. Guard your tongue, learn the flow. Jewish vibes on the podcast. Let's go. Rhythm of the mitzvah, speech is gold. Lesson in restraint, let the story unfold. No gossip, no hate, keep the temple clean. Listeners engaged in that mindful routine.